Hi, and welcome to Old School Rhythm and Blues Guitar. It is time for the rhythm pattern lesson for January through March 2018. And in these lessons, I take kind of a standard rhythm approach that you hear in different songs throughout the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Maybe a style played by one particular artist, and that's what we're going to do this time around. Or it could be a kind of a generic style that you hear in lots of different songs. This time around, we're going to do what I call the Chuck Willis Stroll pattern. And there's two elements to it. There's a bass line being played on a guitar, and then there's chords which are being played. The tune that we're going to use as a reference, Chuck Willis had a lot of songs that had a stroll in it, the stroll. And he had a song called What Am I Living For? And he had some other tunes, Hang Up My Rock and Roll Shoes and Betty and Dupree. And a lot of these tunes he did had this stroll melody. And the pattern was the same. There's a bass guitar playing the walking bass, and then there's chords playing almost like a piano over the top of it. Let's take That Train Is Gone. This is one of my favorite Chuck Willis songs, one of my all-time favorite R&B songs, period, from the 50s. And it's an F. And so first, let's take a look at the bass line, which is the foundation to it. If you've never done the stroll before or seen anybody do the stroll, it really helps. Get on YouTube and type in the stroll or Chuck Willis the stroll and find some American bandstand clip from the 50s and watch the song. The beat was meant for dancers to do the stroll to. And so Chuck Willis at a certain point became known as the king of the stroll because so many of his songs featured this. So let's do it in F. I'll play it one time slowly, all the way through, one verse. The second verse. And that's all it is pretty much throughout the whole tune. So for an F, I'm starting from the first fret of the 6th string. I can't tell on the original tune for That Train Is Gone if he's doing this twice, like that, or just once, and letting it hang. You listen to it. You can do it either way. He's going to go to the 5th fret of the 6th string, and then from the 3rd to the 5th on the 5th string. Like that. And then to the 4, which is the C. Just move everything over a string. And back to the C. Back to the G. And then for the 5, which is a D, 3rd fret of the 5th string, 7th fret of the 5th string, and then 5, 7, 5 on the 4th string. So to the C, whoops, G, and then right here he's going to do that little bass pattern. So I'm going from the 3rd to the 5th fret and back to the 3rd fret on the 5th string, to the 1st fret of the 5th string, open, 3rd fret of the 6th string, back to the F. So like this. And then the whole thing over again. So this little bass, really neat thing. Otherwise it's just this straight bass line. And it's cool, it works. Now over the top of that, while that's laying down the groove here, we've got chords. And I'm just going to show you what chords are being played at which point of the song. And then there is a bridge to the song, which has a little different chords. So when he's playing over the F, what I hear is playing an F, a D-shaped F chord. So here's my F. I'm going to take a D chord and go 1, 2, 3. So my first finger and my second finger are on the 5th fret of the 3rd and the 1st strings, and my third finger is on the 6th fret of the 2nd string, and my pinky is on the 7th fret of the 4th string. And that's what he plays over the 1, and then when the song goes to the 4, just making an F-shaped B-flat chord. So just like you play an F, move it here, so my first finger is on the 6th fret, getting the 1st and 2nd strings, and you can check the tab to see the other two. I don't think he's playing a full bar chord. What I hear is just the top 4 strings, almost like a piano, like a Fats Domino thing, playing triplets. 1, 2, 3. And then when the tune gets ready to go to the 4 the second time, I think I hear a F9. So an F, second position F ninth chord. Got my first finger on the 7th fret of the 4th string, first finger on the 7th fret of the 4th string, second finger on the 8th fret of the 5th string. And then my ring finger is going to flatten out on the 8th fret, get the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings. That's a real common rhythm and blues, jazzy chord. So he uses it as a transition. Instead of a 7th chord, which would be like this, to get to the 4, instead I hear then when he gets to the 5, he's going to go to a C, B flat, F. And then this is one part where I'm not sure what's going on. For the 5, he goes to the 5, and I'm not sure if he's playing like a C7, which you could play the C7 shape chord here, or we could come back here, or even something like this. I can't tell what's going on there, but there is some C7 being played there. You listen to it, see what you think. And then the bridge of the song, where he only does this once in the tune. It goes over the 4, so you got the 9th. And I'll just play it through one time. To the 1. So what I did there is the song starts on the 4, which is the B flat, and it goes to the F, the 1. That's going to go to the 2, and all I'm going to do is take that same shape and move it up 2. Now I'm playing a G. You get that. Then he goes to a C, B, that's it. So the whole song, you've got this. And then over the top, you've got that going. Now the lead guitar, I'm pretty sure it's the same guy who's playing the chords on this. There's a couple times where he does these little fills. Kind of something like that and like this. Probably can't see that with the camera the way I have it, but that's something we'll cover later when we do some licks. But the basic Stroll pattern that you hear in a lot of Chuck Willis's tunes, and other guys use this too, So you've got the walking bass, and then the guitar player playing these triplets over the top of it, which is really kind of neat. So that's what I hear. If anyone knows different, if you know how these guys played these things exactly, make sure you let me know. The whole point of this channel is to try to figure this stuff out, not for me to say, hey, this is how they did it. You know, I'm an expert. That's not. I'm just trying to learn this stuff. I love this music, and I'm trying to share what I'm learning and figure things out with you. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope it's helpful, and I will see you again in a couple more months, and we'll take a look at another kind of common R&B rhythm pattern.